a lot of services, a lot of services. What would you consider your focal points with all the services that you provide? How can you set aside time to really hone in on something specifically and make an impact there?
The most important impact that we are attempting to make is to stabilize families. That is the core and essence of our services. Children should be prepared to go to school and succeed in school. Families should be prepared to be able to raise their children in an environment that affords them a decent wage for their labor, a decent opportunity to advance in their career if they choose to have careers, and a safe place to live and enjoy the fruits of that labor. That's, in essence, the fullness of what Better Family Life is trying to do. And then we're trying to connect all of that to their sense of who they are as an African American person. Primarily, since 97% of the people that we serve are African Americans, a big emphasis is on them being the best person they're capable of being, know that they are respected, they're worthy of respect, they're worthy of living a good life. Because our whole entire notion is that everybody wants a better family life. Everybody.
Certainly. So let's fast forward several years and decades and talk about where Better Family Life is now. Beautiful facility. Tell us about the different levels, because each level, each floor has its own feel, its own thing.
When we purchased this building back in 2005, it took us 7 years to open it because we wanted to create a first-class facility, a facility that is healthy, that people can come to, and it inspires them to do great things. So we invested approximately $15 million in rehabilitating this 60,000 square foot facility that is a historic landmark, not only in North St. Louis, but in all of Missouri. This is one of the finest physically structured school buildings that was built, and it was built by famed architect William B. Itner at the turn of the 20th century. Well, we have taken this design and we've done some really creative things. We've kind of brought the outside on the inside and have each floor, each level of the rehabbing of the floors, we have named it some representation of nature itself. So our ground floor is the sunshine floor. Our first floor is the earth. Our second floor is the grass, and our third floor is the sky. And what's incredible about the third floor is that we're still raising dollars. We still have about $4 million to raise to do this building. On that third floor, the sky floor, is to be an entrepreneurial center where we are going to do all of this entrepreneurial training for inner city residents as well as disadvantaged populations that have been kind of locked out of the entrepreneurial process.
When you say lock out, I'm going to jump on that. What do you mean?
What I mean by that, they were never even told, they never even had imagination that they had ideas that can be converted to businesses. No one had cultivated them, no one had mentored them, no one had even suggested it to them. Some of these welfare recipients, we have found that they are interior decorators, they are fashion coordinators, they are hairstylists, and they have creative ideas of making products and stuff. So it's that very group of people that we want to spend a lot of time giving them the A to Z to business development and ownership. And so locked out may be a strong word, but sometimes you can intellectually dismiss people to the point that you don't even think they're trainable. We know that a lot of people, we have watched them, through our Kwanzaa expos and our Essence of Earth and our family days and our Peace Fest, we have watched businesses form that is still flourishing. Some of them may be businesses that are college industry businesses, which means that they're basically homebound, but we've actually seen people create real sustainable employment for themselves, and we want to encourage that.
Yeah. Self-sufficiency and self-sustainability is vital components to growth.
Absolutely.
Vital components to contributing to
Yes.
your community, to your society. There is no secret that your focus is on the African American individual and family. And I commend you for that, because I think a lot of people want to take the safe route and say, oh, we're for everybody. We want to help everybody, get from A to Z.
Yes.
But you're saying we do, and we will, if we're in that position.
Yes.
But we're focusing on our people first.
If we can create the template for African Americans, it can be portable to almost any ethnic community, because African Americans have so many issues that we've got to work through. Mm-hmm. No one has as many issues as we do. So if we find the silver bullet or the magic formula to African Americans' underdevelopment, that will go to every ethnic community in this country, as well as be exportable around the world.
Do you think it's a problem focusing on your people, so to speak?
Oh, absolutely not. This is something that, as leaders of community organizations or economic organizations, we have to put a greater focus on the African American community. In some instances, communities such as North St. Louis have been disinvested in for over 50 years. That means the stores and the businesses and the factories have all left the community. There are some communities that you have to go 2 to 3 miles just to buy basic food, basic medicines to subsist on. And so there has to be a massive focus on the African American community.
Why are we being overlooked? You've been here for many, many years in the St. Louis area.
I think that there's been twofold. One, we have to first take the blame ourselves. Our leadership have been not as forthright. I think that so many people got caught up in the idea of post-racial society, that integration had been largely a successful experiment, a social experiment, and that there are opportunities that African Americans never even dreamed about that's possible now. That few left behind the many. And, they have, a lot of them have abandoned the neighborhoods, even though some members of the family may have been left in those neighborhoods. Some of them have even abandoned going to the churches, and that were community churches or churches that they grew up in. And so a lot of the social structure collapsed. Frederick Douglass said many, many years ago, power conceives to nothing without a demand. And so when we fail to see our communities as a political and economic base, and fail to see the people as our most essential asset, and just let them rot away, communities deteriorate.